So that's going. Oh, Mary, are you still there?
Oh, yes, I'm here. Yes.
Okay. Oh,
Oh,
that's good. That's good.
yeah. Great. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
okay.
I wonder how this is looking. Oh, look at that. DataStax is live. I just got it on my phone.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah. Are we on LinkedIn? And
That's from LinkedIn.
yeah, awesome. Yeah. Oh, LinkedIn only, right?
It LinkedIn and I think our DataStax developers channel as well.
Oh, on YouTube. Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Okay. You look okay, but yeah, I'm coming through kind of choppy here if I'm.
Oh, so you still have the cover page, right? Just so I know.
No, I'm looking online. You can see us right
Oh my
now.
gosh.
So
Yeah, we're actually live. Oh, wow.
we're actually live. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, I guess we can just get to it. Yeah,
okay,
we can figure out the
sure, sure.
bandwidth issues lately or whatever it is we're looking
Or
at here.
whatever.
But
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
anyway, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to. Oh wow, what did I call this?
This is
All right, let me
real
go
time
back to my.
AI.
It's like real time AI with Java or something like that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's the right thing to say.
Yeah, yeah.
I say AI for the busy developers. So yeah,
AI for busy developers. That
yeah,
that's a great way to put it,
I
Mary.
think
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so yeah.
Well, anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Aaron Pletz. I'm a developer advocate at DataStax, and with me here is Mary Grigalski. Mary, welcome. Well,
Thank you.
hello,
Yeah.
I should say.
Thank you, Aaron. Yes, I'm Mary Grigleski. I'm a developer advocate at DataStax. I was doing mostly the streaming stuff earlier, but now kind of getting into doing everything, more things. The AI, kind of like the exciting area, generative AI, vector search, and all these things, and also what streaming can help you with your AI development. So yeah, we're all excited. I worked with Aaron a couple times. We did some presentations in the past, and Aaron is a Cassandra, super expert
Oh,
guru. So
I
I'm
don't know
so,
about
so
that.
happy. And yeah, so I'm really happy to be teaming up with him here and do this live stream. We're trying to bring this to you, to developers like yourself curious about AI, and if you're, especially if you're Java too, we want to also bring knowledge too on how we can kind of work with AI, right? Java, it supports it too. So yeah, yeah. So thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, and and that brings up a good point, Mary, as far as maybe something that we could start the conversation with. Um, but recently, you put a poll out on your social media accounts about, hey, those of you Java developers out there, where do you think that or where do you feel the current state of like Java and AI is? Are you feeling left behind? Is Java going to catch up? How did that poll kind of turn out?
Yeah, good question. We got quite a lot of folks. At least I can tell. The behind the scenes statistics. A lot of folks are curious. I'm sure you've read the questions, the poll. It's definitely a very interesting area that's kind of waiting to be explored. I guess,
Oh,
especially
right, right.
like AI, for especially also for Java developers. So I have to say that a lot of folks, did seem to say that, well, I'm going to start looking into it, which is good. There's still some, though, I do have to say, anywhere you go, you find some naysayers. It's like, oh, well, I don't care, just a hype and all of these things. So
I did see a little bit of that too. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah. So we can expect that it's not an issue. We're open country, open place, open world where all can express our opinions, and I think that all of our opinions are very valid too. And it's also a lot of questions. What does it mean, right, for the developers? So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
and but yeah, like I said, I should really go back to kind of gathering all of the statistics and show you. But I should have done my homework. But I think as such, this is our first episode. We're getting busy getting ready, and then I'm like,
Right.
of all
Right.
the things, I forgot to gather these statistics. So next week, let me share with you the statistics. But I think too, yeah, that's the thing too. If folks are have been following me, right, about mostly too, maybe you're about streaming or Java, but now how did I get into AI? I think it's just becoming, our becoming mainstream. Like no matter what, you cannot avoid it. It's basically it
Oh,
also
right.
can bring a
Right.
lot of benefits, and that's what we want to talk about. I'm excited about it, getting into new areas, and that's the goal, right? We are as computer scientists, as data people, we're always wanting to learn new things. I think it's just exciting. So yeah, but let me share with you the statistics next time. Yeah, for sure. So
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
that would be great. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
and and I like the idea behind that. It was that it's mainly about like just kind of capturing the sentiment of the community and just kind of where is the community at with it and how is everyone feeling and yeah, I think that's definitely important to go over and just kind of see where people are, for sure,
yes.
for sure.
Totally. I think I really think so. Now, actually, while I'm here too, I know I didn't have the statistics. I meant to also respond back to some folks too. They were kind of asking about, or not asking. They were commenting. They said, well, is basically it's all C plus plus behind the scenes, and
Oh yeah.
and then even Python is wrapping. Everybody's wrapping something. But here I am thinking, right? Because if you kind of break down, AI is all the fancy terms, but underneath the hood is all of these linear algebra, all of these
Mhm.
vector,
Oh yeah.
matrix that which Aaron's also like so good at too. And so all of these kind of is really the math behind the scenes. And of course, I think it's a lot of scientists too. They tend to, I have worked with some math professors and really good, but they would be when they code, right? They are less concerned about, like sometimes Java developers tend to be like, I want to write good code. Those are good, don't get me wrong. But like as far as computing goes, it's a different kind of thinking, right? You're dealing with math formulas. How do you write the code to do your algorithms and all of these things? I feel that a lot of scientists, right, so to speak, they do stuff with with all of their math, they probably tend to do it in C and C++. And that's what I
Oh,
found
right.
out.
Right.
Yeah. And then, I think that's how it kind of evolved from. And these are complex, don't get me wrong, complex computations that you can't easily say replicate using another languages. And like, you can, I'm not saying you can't. And in fact, Aaron's going to talk about vector API, all of these things,
Oh,
all
yeah.
about.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, so anyway, to me, I feel like yes, of course, these are maybe still where we're leveraging on what's already been written, and they work very well. So we wrap it around using Python interfacing. The language bindings is Python, or using Java, whatever it is, right?
Hmm.
Go or
Hmm.
Rust and all that. So anyway, very valid responses too from a lot of folks too that I read. Based on the poll, the responses to the poll. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
Oh, hey, that's so. This is great, Mary. This is great. So I'm actually trying something. I disabled my virtual background, and it looks like that gave me a little bit of a boost. I
Oh,
feel like things are running a lot better than they were. So
oh,
yeah,
maybe.
fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I do see some very interesting. Is it Star Wars things
Oh
behind the
yeah,
scene?
I have a my Tron arcade cabinet,
Ah,
and then I have Voltron over my shoulder here,
very
and then
cool.
I got like a a different picture that one of my daughters got me for Christmas of Scarface. So
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
cool. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. I like your natural background too. So yes. Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
cool.
one thing that I think we should talk about too, and that with especially with Java 21 very close to release. I mean, like less than 2 months from now, and Java 21 will come out. I know that what is I'm trying to remember the JSR on it, but the Vector API will be a part of it. But it says sixth incubator final. Can you maybe shed some light on what that means? Does that mean it's not quite final yet,
Oh, okay. Yes, sure,
or it's
sure.
still in the incubator phase?
It's
Yeah,
actually, you know what? It's gone through, as you know, right? Just a quick thing. I know we're supposed to be talking more about AI, but as such, is Java, right? And the Java community process is very interesting. But here we won't talk about all of it. But so before it becomes kind of formal spec, right? It goes through
right, right.
incubation. So the different, every, incubator and first incubator, and it assign this JSR number to it, right? Is the
Hmm.
spec number. So you work on it, and then when you're done, you kind of determine. I think the committee. I'm not involved with that, but then committee decides, what to do. Are we still going on? It's going to be, kind of like the preview version, or
Right.
like, like all of these things. And then, so for example, like Vector API has gone through like six incubations, and now on Java 21 it will be released as the final, the final version of it. So that's what it
Oh,
is. These are
excellent.
just different kind of milestone, if you can say, of a spec of some features. So yeah, so that's what it is. So it's gone through like six kind of iterations, so to speak, right? Incubations, and now
Hmm.
final is in Java 21, which will be released on September 20th or 21st. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I think so. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, you're right. It's September 20 something. It's like right
something.
around there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
sure.
but that's good. Just the label of sixth incubator, kind of threw me a little on. Like, does this mean it's really
Yeah,
in there, or is it like a preview feature that you have to enable, or right, or something like
yeah.
that? But yeah.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, too, like if you, well, we can be sharing those links too, in which, if you go to the JSR and then you look at it, or should I share my screen? I actually have it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
let
Go
me
ahead.
do it kind of really quick, kind of, because I have it there. Oops, let me kind of like that. Okay, and okay. Let me now go back to my screen. I ought to have my screen a little bit better in here
Oh,
in the right
that's
order.
okay.
So, yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me do this one thing. I need to pop that out because I'm not using the same browser for my for my the broadcast in here. So that's why
Right.
I need to
Right.
kind
Yeah,
of
I have mine kind of split up a little bit.
yeah.
And then
That's
I ended up closing a lot when I was trying to get my performance under control there. But
yeah. That's right. So let me kind of really quick. Let me share that. It's just a quick thing to show folks too about this JSR thing. And why did I not find it? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, so now you can see, right, this the Open JDK website, JDK 21, and
yeah,
yeah, I
let
brought
me
up.
add it to. Okay, here we go. Now we should see it.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. Oh, you can see it. Okay. Let me. Or should
Yep.
I go
Yep.
back? Okay. So
No,
that
you're
was like
okay. You're okay.
okay. Java 21. Yeah. So as you can see, there's a list of all the features. So here, yeah, they said six incubator. I believe they are finalized because that's what I read about. But in any event, if it's still in incubation, that means that six iterations will be closed. It's already closed to, in fact. Oops. Why did I do this? Sorry. Okay. It's like, my keyboard sometimes is very sensitive. If I touch it
Sure.
lightly, it kind of
Sure.
does the wrong thing. But okay, all right. So this, and then here too is basically the vector API, and you can
Hmm.
look up, right, the JDK this JEP, right, the Java. What is it? JEP? I cannot remember exactly, but essentially is
448, I
yeah,
think. Yeah.
4 to
Yeah.
48. Yeah, that's right. So the
Right.
JSR,
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, we have different like stands for different things, but over here too, as you can see, it's already been closed. They have worked already, pushed the code, and it's just ready for 21. And that's what this one is too. But I thought it is not an incubation. I thought I read somewhere that it's supposed to be released, and perhaps it is still under development. I think it's kind of not finalized yet, perhaps. So yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So okay, so I could be wrong. Sorry,
Oh, no,
sorry about that. So
that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Okay, so then I can probably not share this now, and then we can go back. So go back to talking. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So here. Oh, do I have to click? Yeah, I apologize, folks. Mary and I are still trying to figure out our restream interface here. Oh, hey, there we go. I think I've got you and me
Yeah. Okay, great.
back to normal
Okay,
size heads.
thank you. Awesome.
Okay, I mean, I suppose I know you mentioned it a little earlier too. Just with I know with our we wanted to shoot for like 20 minutes worth of time, and we've been stumbling over the interface and all that. But you mentioned too that we should talk about vector search, because that's something that's gained a lot of notoriety lately,
That's
especially in the Cassandra world. When we're talking about vector search in AsterDB, and ways to leverage that with Java. I
right.
know the drivers team just made another release of the the Java driver for Cassandra,
Oh,
and
yes.
the kind of the driving force behind that was they wanted Vector to have a default CQL type
Oh,
that can be recognized, when you're in your IDE and building your Java code,
yeah.
because otherwise, and I know I've written a few things, in the really recently too, before that driver was available. It's like you have to pull it out as just an object,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then kind of work with it as just a base object type. But
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah,
That,
so
that
that's
is.
so that's one of the new developments there. Of course, when we're looking at some of the maybe some of the downstream data frameworks, like
Mhm.
Spring
Yeah.
data, for
Right.
example, it
Right.
normally takes them a few development cycles to pick up the latest version
Yeah.
of the Java driver, and then you'll start to get those features available there too.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, I've been actually very interested. I mean, I have to admit, right? I've been mostly focusing at DataStax when I started for a year
Hmm.
or so ago, just mostly streaming, so less so with Cassandra. But now that I also start talking about AI, and actually that's our kind of, like the main thing now, the crux of this whole, kind of power is in Cassandra, our
Right,
vector search,
right.
and yeah, the vector embedding, all of these. So now, my understanding, right, is that vector, right, especially vector API in Java, is like working. It also works with different CPU architecture as well. How it works with the
Hmm.
parallel processing, multiple data sets, and in one instruction. So how does do you know, like Aaron? I'm just more curious, right? Maybe some folks are too. Is we do all this vector search in the database itself. So does it also differentiate between different architecture when it's kind of on the database
Ooh.
level, or is it already, it's something that it's already there's some abstract layers that are interacting with hardware that you don't necessarily have to write something different, right, on the Cassandra side. So I'm mostly curious at this point.
That's a great question, Mary. I don't know the answer to that exactly, though. With my limited experience of inside the Cassandra the dev world, I don't think there's anything that's architecture specific in there.
Uh-huh.
I know we have had discussions on the mailing list about
Oh,
Cassandra for different architectures, how to get it to work on, like an M1, or something else that's a
yeah.
little more risk savvy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those details are actually handled in the JVM itself.
Oh,
As
okay.
as long as you have a JVM that
Yeah.
matches your architecture, then
Oh,
Cassandra will perform as it normally does, and that should be okay. Yeah.
that should be, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right,
and
yeah.
and again, that's a nice side benefit of
Yeah.
Cassandra being written in Java, is that, yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of that it kind of uses that infrastructure abstraction layer, or architecture
Yeah.
abstraction layer, really, if you will. That
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Yeah, yeah. I learned something. Yeah, yeah. I'm just like getting excited because of the math that goes on underneath.
Oh
I have
yeah,
that
yeah.
background. So all of a sudden, the linear algebra is coming to life. And all my jobs, when I after college, I never really used linear algebra. Not that I use it actively, but it is something that I'm becoming aware of. Okay, it is the linear algebra coming to life, at least in my head, trying to understand how do I apply it. I remember too, as a math, in college too, math
Yeah, yeah.
major, and so I was like, how does it get used? Discrete math, all of these things. But this is exciting. I think it's definitely an exciting area. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I had matrices in linear algebra in college also, and that was a 3 credit C I had to work off. Yeah, that was
Oh,
that was great. But no, you're right. It actually does come in handy in that,
yeah,
there were when I was working on a few of the examples that I've done for
yeah,
some of the videos on vector search that we've done. But there was one vector result that I got back where I'm like, that can't be right. So I actually took the coordinates out, and I did my own, like, by hand cosine calculations,
oh, wow.
and I looked at it. And I'm like, oh yeah, sure enough, that is right.
Yeah, yeah,
And okay, I didn't remember how to do it. I had to Google how to compute a cosine, and
yeah. That's great.
compute, yeah, angle similarity, and yeah.
Yeah,
But
all these things. Yeah, I know, it's
but you're right,
amazing.
that math is
Yeah,
behind there,
it's
and understanding that is
yeah,
definitely foundational to, yeah,
yeah,
being able to
foundation. yeah,
leverage that effectively. Yeah.
yeah, and really truly appreciate, the amount of, all the matches that are being done on the database level, and is really leveraging on all of these math that's kind of going on behind the scenes. I mean, it fascinates me. So,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yes.
I know that article too. That oh, I forget which one it is now. I had I had sent that on to you yesterday when we were looking at material for this.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, just long story short, I know that one of the things that the author highlighted in that article was some of the features about the new vector API in Java 21,
hmm,
and about how you can have like arrays of numbers, vectors
yeah,
essentially,
that's right.
and you can add them together. Like there are functions there that allow you to do that intrinsically with
Increasingly. Oh,
Java.
which I was very
Um,
cool.
and that's interesting, because he kind of showed the manual way to do it as well, of like
Yeah.
spinning through the counters on the array and then adding the two
Oh,
cells together, and
yeah.
but now you can just do, hey, vector A dot add vector B, boom, done.
Yeah, it's our done it. Yes, doing it for you behind the scenes. Yes, yes, this is pretty amazing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
very cool.
Alexei Linsky, I think that is. Yeah, yeah, and it's from the article that he wrote back in May,
Oh,
actually.
okay, okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I might have come across his article too. Yeah, he was explaining how you can do it.
right,
Yeah,
right.
that's very good too. Yeah, we can maybe, yeah, maybe on my Twitch stream I can show that a little bit and
Oh, that's
do
a great idea.
do the coding, right? To kind of explain. I think it would be interesting.
I,
So
I put the link in the chat just in case anyone else wants to follow up with that.
awesome,
But yeah.
awesome. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, yeah, cool, cool. So
And Mary, I suppose in the final closing minutes here, it makes sense to mention too. Again, you kind of talked about your background here at DataStax and how you've been really helping the streaming team kind of drive the message around Astra streaming and Pulsar,
that's right.
and how that all like plays into the real time AI deal, and that
Sure.
almost every real time AI package out there has like streaming
Some
either
stream.
integrated into it, or it
Yeah,
has like APIs that let it work with Kafka or Pulsar. But
yeah,
it's like streaming is a very central component
yeah.
to having having those ML models be able to be built in real time and
Oh, yeah.
computed in real time.
Yes.
That's it's super important. It absolutely is.
Sure, sure. Yes, yes, that's what I'm excited as well. I think there's a lot more potential in there into like really enabling the real-time AI, and that's something DataStax we're working towards is
Hmm.
really have data being able to ingest, in real time and being able to train itself in real time and generate, results really near real time, so to speak. And I think is a big area as such, right? I'm finding a lot of models that are available these days. They are still in batch processing mode. So everything's already kind of being trained because it takes a long time, trained and behind the scenes, and then you
All
use the
right,
model to
right.
do all the matching and all these stuff. But yeah, but one if we can do it actually real time, then that's gold, I think. Yeah. And that's really all enabled by streaming because it enables you to ingest the data in really fast and yeah, very fast, and then being able to pass it on to some more further stream processing. For example, we have Cascada in our company that we
Yep,
do
yep.
support the stream processing time series kind of processing that is actually for feature engine too. So that's
Oh,
really
right,
kind of an
right.
amazing thing. So I think the streaming, let's say for Pulsar, we can do is like ingest, allows you to ingest these huge amounts of data in real time and then pass it on to Cascada for further processing. And yeah, it's pretty fascinating. Yeah, exactly. So really we're combining all of these tools together to make this kind of really a reality, this amazing kind of thing, a reality now. So
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, wonderful. Yeah,
Cool. Well, hey, I think we're at
yeah,
time.
your time.
Um
Yes. Yeah.
Here, let me get our outro
Um,
all primed
sure.
up here. But
Sure.
Mary, do you have any closing thoughts
I
perhaps?
think closing thoughts is that I feel right. Developers, let's all get excited. This is an amazing field, and we are here to kind of help you to succeed in your job. You can leverage on such amazing, AI technology to help your work. And don't be like nervous because people are saying, oh, AI is going to take the job away.
I've
Don't.
heard a lot of that.
It's,
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. Don't even worry. There will be new jobs that comes out that needs to do. Actually, one thing I'm already thinking is that we can't all trust Chat GPT, right? We have seen it
Right.
making
Right.
mistakes. And I think I was asking someone, an AI expert. I said, doesn't it mean we need more people doing testing? I mean, that will be a very important job. Your quality assurance to guarantee the results generated by ChatGPT is correct. That's important too. Don't just trust it. And so I think I
Hmm.
feel
Hmm.
that there will be new types of jobs and roles coming up too that have yet to be discovered, by us. Or yeah. So anyway, but to me, I think it's a fascinating field, and just stay tuned for more next time too. In fact, I want to talk about more Java. There's also a specification that's actually supporting like visual data, visual recognition. That's supporting like
Oh, hey.
ML data classification. So next time, let's talk about that too. So
Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I am super excited about all this too. Before we at DataStack started doing any of this, I had like zero experience with anything like AI ML related, short of kind of messing around with some new ways to create like recommendation systems,
Sure.
which is kind of funny. I worked on one in a past life that you know and this is for a big box store who I won't mention that everybody uses. Trust me.
Yeah.
Headquartered in Minnesota. Okay, I'll stop dropping hints, but
Uh-huh.
it's like the recommendations online when you add things to your cart or you're looking at a product, and the recommendations you get are generated by this gigantic Hadoop job that takes like 2 to 4 days to run, and so it's like the recommendations. Now, granted, it's not something that needs to be consistent, but it's at least 2 to 4 days out of date by that point. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
that's where I see the real advantage of the tools that we're seeing now that are coming out to complement things like Chat GPT. Is it really
Yes.
adds that real time
Yes.
aspect to it, and I think that's
Really.
something that's a super cool and b
Oh,
going to
yeah.
lead a lot of innovation going forward. So,
Yeah, totally. Absolutely, Aaron. I agree. And here I see a comment from one of our
oh yeah.
audience members, right? Which is nice. Thank you so much, Hermione. Yeah, I think I can't read too out small.
Haman Kriswani. Yeah. Hey,
Hermione.
thanks for
Ah,
joining. Wow, we have people
yeah,
joining
thanks
us.
for yeah. Please, yeah, feel free to talk with us. We love it. So, Hermione, thank you. You said you commented it will also create more jobs in other sectors like renewable and many more.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. You're right.
Mhm.
You're right on target. Yes. Yeah. So yeah. So don't be shy away from these things. Just embrace it. We have new and more exciting days to come. So yes. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Wonderful.
I think that'll about do it. Mary and I are going to try and make this a once a week thing. So, we'll go ahead and look for some cool topics for next time. And otherwise, I think we'll talk to everyone later.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
everyone.
Have
Okay,
a
let me
good
try and run our splash screen here. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Right. That's like meta producing.
No worries. It's our first time. Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming.